The ancient world was a dangerous place, full of empires rising and falling like the tides. Few events were as mysterious and cataclysmic as the arrival of the Sea Peoples. Imagine a vast armada appearing on the horizon, filled with fierce warriors hungry for conquest. These weren't just pirates. They brought mighty Egypt to its knees. Who were these enigmatic invaders? Where did they come from, and what drove them to challenge the greatest powers of their age? Who were the mysterious sea people who nearly destroyed ancient Egypt? Invaders, traders, or something far more sinister? Stay with us to uncover 50 jaw-dropping facts about these enigmatic warriors. The term Sea Peoples wasn't on ancient tombs. Historians coined it to describe the chaos these invaders unleashed. Picture this, it's the late Bronze Age, around 1200 to 900 BC. The Mediterranean is a highway for trade, warfare, and these sea peoples. They were like the Vikings of their time, but their story is shrouded in mystery. Here's where things get interesting. No one knows where these sea peoples came from. Some say the Aegean Sea, others whisper of islands further west. It's a puzzle lost to time. Chapter 4, Egypt's Worst Nightmare. Imagine you're an Egyptian scribe chilling by the Nile. Suddenly, news arrives, foreign invaders from the sea. The Egyptians describe these mysterious marauders. Talk about a mood killer. Chapter 5, fleeing from what? Some scholars think the Sea Peoples weren't just bloodthirsty pirates. What if they were refugees fleeing some unknown catastrophe? Famine, earthquakes, another mystery to ponder upon. Chapter 6, Ramses versus the Raiders. Pharaoh Ramses III, Egypt's mighty ruler, faced the Sea Peoples. They challenged the most powerful empire on earth. Chapter 7, the Bronze Age Apocalypse. The Sea Peoples weren't just a blip in history. Their arrival coincided with the collapse of entire civilizations. Coincidence? I think not. Chapter 8, Egypt on the ropes. Imagine a world without Egyptian pyramids or golden tombs. The Sea Peoples' raids crippled Egypt's economy, disrupting trade and causing chaos. Chapter 9, the Battle of Medinet Habu. The Egyptians didn't go down without a fight. The walls of Medinet Habu tell the story of their clash with the Sea Peoples. Spoiler alert, it was a bloodbath. Chapter 10. Ramses III claimed victory, but the Sea Peoples left their mark. Egypt never fully recovered, forever changed by the encounter. Chapter 11. From the Aegean Sea to Anatolia, even Sardinia is considered a possible origin for these enigmatic seafarers. Talk about a wide net. Chapter 12. Imagine a melting pot of cultures, united not by blood, but by conquest. The Sea Peoples were likely a mix of groups, each with their own story. Remember the Philistines from the Bible, always causing trouble for the Israelites. Some historians think they were part of the Sea Peoples coalition. Now that's a plot twist. Chapter 14. The Sheridan part of the Sea Peoples are linked to Sardinia. Did these island warriors travel across the Mediterranean to challenge Egypt's might? Chapter 15. The Peliset, a group within the Sea Peoples, have a name close to Philistine. Coincidence? I think not. These raiders might have had a lasting impact. Chapter 16. Masters of the Waves. The Sea Peoples were skilled sailors, navigating the open ocean with expertise that would make modern admirals jealous. Chapter 17. Ships of War. Forget those flimsy rafts in movies. The Sea Peoples sailed massive warships carrying hundreds of warriors across vast distances. These were the aircraft carriers of their time. Chapter 18. Built for speed and battle. Imagine a ship with a towering prow slicing through waves. With sails for speed and oars for maneuverability, you've got a Sea Peoples warship ready for action. Chapter 19. Lightning Strikes. The Sea Peoples didn't believe in long, drawn-out sieges. They were masters of hit-and-run tactics, using their naval superiority to launch swift, devastating attacks. Chapter 20. Art imitates warfare. To understand how the Sea Peoples fought, look at Egyptian temple walls. Detailed reliefs show their ships, weapons, and tactics in terrifying glory. Chapter 21. Armed and dangerous. The Sea Peoples weren't just guys with sticks and stones, they were armed with swords, spears, axes, and shields, ready to take on the best warriors. These guys were more than pirates, a versatile force, waging war on land and sea, a true double threat. Forget about plain helmets. The Sea Peoples were known for their distinctive horned helmets, making them look even more intimidating on the battlefield. Now, that's a fashion statement. The Sea Peoples were ruthless and efficient raiders, striking fear into the hearts of their enemies. These weren't just warriors, they were ruthless looters too. The Sea Peoples targeted wealthy cities, making off with treasure, resources, and anything else they could get their hands on. The Sea Peoples' impact on the ancient world was immense. They might have been the final nail in the coffin for multiple civilizations already teetering on the brink. From the Hittites in Anatolia to the Mycenaeans in Greece, the Sea Peoples left a trail of destruction, altering history forever. Imagine a world plunged into darkness, trade routes disrupted and crops failing. The Sea Peoples' raids triggered widespread famine and instability, collapsing the Bronze Age world. The Mediterranean was the lifeblood of the ancient world. But the Sea Peoples' raids threw a wrench into the system. Trade networks collapsed, isolating many communities and fueling the chaos. Were the Sea Peoples the cause of the Bronze Age collapse? Or did they exploit a world already in decline? This question still sparks debate among historians. The Egyptians documented their encounters with the Sea Peoples in detail. Talk about writing your own history. Medinet Habu is a time capsule preserving the Sea Peoples' invasion story, a treasure trove for historians and archaeologists. The Sea Peoples weren't just historical figures, they became legends, embodying the chaos and destruction marking the end of an era. What if the Sea Peoples were desperate refugees seeking a new home? This theory paints them in a more sympathetic light. The Sea Peoples' movements might have led to cultural exchange. Did they bring new ideas and technologies to invaded regions? Archaeologists seek artifacts to uncover the Sea Peoples' origins and culture. Each pottery shard, each rusted weapon could hold a vital clue. The Mediterranean Sea is a graveyard of history. Imagine the treasures and secrets these ancient shipwrecks could hold. Pottery might not seem exciting, but it reveals much about the past. Similarities between Sea Peoples' pottery and Mycenaean styles suggest a connection between these cultures. Burial sites containing unique weapons and armor offer tantalizing hints about the Sea Peoples' presence in various regions. It's like piecing together a puzzle, one grave at a time, revealing history. Chapter 40, Ashes to Ashes. The Sea Peoples' destructive raids left burned cities, aligning with their invasion timeline, a sobering reminder of the chaos they unleashed. Philistine legacy. The Philistines, descendants of the Sea Peoples, settled in Canaan, becoming a thorn in the side of the Israelites. Their story shows the lasting impact of these raiders. Reshaping the world. The Sea Peoples' invasions reshaped the political landscape of the ancient world, leading to the rise and fall of empires. The Sea Peoples are among the earliest recorded maritime raiders, inspiring countless pirate stories throughout history. The chaos unleashed by the Sea Peoples created a power vacuum in the ancient Near East. paving the way for the rise of new empires such as the mighty Assyrians. Centuries later, the Sea Peoples still fascinate and frustrate historians. Their origins and motivations remain shrouded in mystery. Scholars believe climate change influenced the Sea Peoples' movements, forcing them to seek new lands and resources. What if the Sea Peoples were not unified, but rebel groups driven from their homelands by internal conflicts? This theory adds complexity to their story. Advances in genetic testing might one day allow us to trace the Sea Peoples' origins, unlocking the secrets of their ancestry and shedding new light on their mysterious movements and history. The Sea Peoples remain one of history's greatest mysteries, a tantalizing enigma capturing our imaginations. Who were they? Where did they come from? The answers remain elusive. Were they invaders, refugees, or something in between? The truth about the Sea Peoples might be lost, but their story continues to fascinate us. The Sea Peoples weren't just invaders, they were a force of nature, reshaping the ancient world and leaving behind a legacy of mystery that endures to this day. They remind us that even the mightiest empires can crumble, and that sometimes the greatest mysteries are the ones we may never solve, invaders or survivors of a lost civilization. The Sea People leave us with more questions than answers. What do you think? Share your theories in the comments.